No, I've got 4 development teams.
Oh, wow.
3 in Enderby, 2 up in the Doncaster warehouse, Doncaster D2.
Yeah.
So I split my time between those places, and I've also got support team.
Oh, wow.
That look after the mainframe areas that I look after, along with another team which helps provision UAT websites for testing. So websites pointing to our test areas so people can test code before it goes out there. There's also a team over in Pune that supports the provisioning of those websites and all the test data behind it.
All right, so you get about a bit then.
Just about, yeah. Never a dull moment.
And what's your job title then? What's your exact job title?
My exact job title is known as a product group manager.
Yeah.
Think of it more as a senior project manager.
Yeah.
So I've just explained I've got 5 project managers work under me, known as product development managers. Like I say, I've got 4 development teams, support team, and an environment team.
Oh, wow. And that is all on Mainframe, is it?
The vast majority, yes.
Yeah.
Some of the environments team, yes, they do Mainframe to provision some of the test data, but they also spin up the websites that people use in test to test code before it goes out into live and let the real punters take a look at it.
Yeah, because if we didn't test it, something went wrong then.
They soon tell you. Our best testers are our customers.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Or if they find something wrong, they'll let you know.
And what is Mainframe then? Because, I guess it's something that's been around a while.
It's been around a hell of a long time.
Yeah.
Mainframes are probably about 70 years old. First
Wow.
ones that were built over 70 years ago.
Wow.
Mainframes, effectively in modern day terms, think of them as very, very powerful servers, very large, powerful servers that can process huge volumes of data and huge volumes of data concurrently from different places.
Oh, right. So not just one source.
Not just one source coming in. They can handle data coming in from multiple sources. Also, the mainframe itself is, like I say, it's been around 70 years. Think of it as a business machine.
Right.
Our mainframe is an IBM mainframe. IBM actually stands for International Business Machines. They're the ones who mainly do the hardware. They've been around almost like from the inception of mainframes.
Yeah.
We don't actually own our mainframe. We rent it.
Oh, okay.
The mainframe is down at a data centre in Farnborough.
Okay.
And all the interactions have to go over high-speed networks down to Farnborough to get the information back. So we effectively rent it, and we have a third-party company called Kyndryl, who are an offshoot of IBM, who actually run it for us.
Oh, okay.
And maintain it.
Maintain the actual mainframe.
Maintain the mainframe, make sure the operating system's there, make sure
Yeah.
they've got all the DBAs, all the computer operators. They supply all that. We write the code.
So for mainframe, for customers then, it's really important we've got that, because I'm guessing that's processing every single transaction, all the interactions.
Yeah.
Through is that the main source of it, or is it more than that?
One of the sources.
Oh, okay, one off.
Yeah. So mainframe just doesn't only cover customers and customer ordering. It also, the first part that mainframe got involved probably is its stock.
Okay.
So the stock gets contracted through the mainframe, and it controls the stock coming in. We have 2 pots of stock. You've got the retail stock, you've got the directory stock.
Yeah.
Make sure, I think the strap line for our stock and pricing team, and they'll probably kill me if I get this wrong, is the right product at the right time in the right place.
Yeah.
So they control the stock.
Right.
And we keep a history on the mainframe of every single individual item, because each item's got a label on it.
Yeah.
It's like item number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it'll have an individual number back end of that, and we can track how that's, what the life cycle of that item is, who's bought it, who's returned it, who's then picked, whereabouts it's gone.
Right. Okay.
So that's like the stock bit.
Yeah.
The bit that I'm mainly involved with is bits around our customers, our online customers, what was known as directory, because when I first joined, I was known in areas of directory systems.
Yeah.
And that covers the call centre.
Right.
So when customers ring up the call centre, they make inquiries on systems which talk to the mainframe.
Okay.
The website. So when you go onto the website, lots of the data that's on the website has been sent to e-commerce beforehand.
Right.
So they can show you lots of data about what the items are, what the prices are, etc. whenever you click add to bag, it's sending a message to the mainframe to go and understand, is that stock available? Where is it? We can go look it up. It's in the warehouse. It's at the top there. It's going to take a day for it. So we can find out exactly when that stock can leave the warehouse and get delivered. Obviously, then when the customer decides to check out, they come to us to find out what the customer information is, so we can then give them all the options that the customer's got. They've got all these nearby stores. Their home address is this. They've got all these alternate delivery addresses. These are the nearby parcel shops. Here's your order, how you can get it delivered, when you can get it delivered. All that's done on the mainframe.
Wow.
We take payments in. We don't talk to the payments providers themselves, but we take the payments information in if a customer decides they want to pay for it or not use a credit facility. So we take the payments in, apply it to the account, make sure we think it's legitimate and we're happy with it. We then, once the customer clicks complete order, we'll take that complete order, put it on a big file, a log file, transaction file, and 20 odd times a day, warehouse systems will take that transaction file, process those orders and create all the picking pots. That all happens on the mainframe. And also, when you do finish your order, your email that gets sent out, here's your order complete, that goes through the email, that goes through the mainframe. Of course it goes through an email. Just trying to think of other areas. We've got stores. We don't get involved in a normal stores cash transaction as such, especially in my area, but things like you return an item of directory stock to a store, we'll immediately take that stock back, uplift your credit balance if you're a credit customer, and produce the text that goes, right, your balance now is this, we've received your returns in store. So, we get involved in a heck of a lot of things. And also in store, you can order against the directory stock, things like sofas, lounge, bed,
so
furniture,
it's embedded,
all that kind of. It's embedded in so
many parts of NEXT then.
And I've only just glossed the surface, really.
Yeah. So like a lot, it's not just, so you've got the, like you say, the stock and the logistics bit, you've got the purchasing, you've got elements of retail, customer service, contact centres, all of that.
Yeah.
It's in all our major parts of the business easily.
Yeah. I mean, technology
is anyway.
Yeah, is in every single part of the business, and we have so many different platforms. Mainframe is just one of those platforms.
Right, okay, got you. So do we have specific mainframe specialists or developers then as well? Yeah. So how many of those have we got across the business roughly?
I would say we've got, because we recently did a head count, how many developers have we got? We've probably got about 140, 150 developers and managers covering those areas.
Just specific for
mainframe.
Just mainframe.
Yeah, they're mainly in four teams. My area, which is online ordering, there's warehousing, there's stock and pricing, and there's also another area called finance credit, which is an offshoot of what we used to be in directory systems.
And what would they actually be developing within mainframe then? Like, what would they be looking to do? Like, what are you looking to do with it? Are you writing the systems, or are you improving them, or both? Yeah,
both. So yeah, we have an agreed program of work. The business have a huge list of projects which we can never satisfy because the business has so many ideas.
Yeah,
it's so dynamic.
Yeah.
So we have an agreed priority list of work that we can hopefully deliver for the business over a season. Right now, we're currently going through spring summer 24.
Right.
Trying to understand what capacity we've got next season, what all the top priority projects the business wants us to do. So we plan all that out. So we understand what we're going to be doing potentially for the next 6 months. Although NEXT, being NEXT, it never quite works that way because it's such a dynamic business. New ideas are coming through. Right now we're planning, like I say, spring, summer 24. It would not surprise me come early January, early February, there's some different projects come along which completely railroad some of the things that we've got. And we have to plan and juggle that. A lot of the projects we have are what we call cross-functional projects because we're working on different silos and different technologies are used across the business to hopefully produce something that's one seamless product to the customer.
Yeah.
Website does some development, they need some work from Mainframe. We have to coordinate our work together, make sure that we're producing and singing from the same hymn sheet, basically, doing all the right things for each other and getting that information to them. So yeah, we'll develop those, but all the time we're also looking at business improvements and technical improvements to make things better for ourselves. Probably a really good example is a project that we've just been doing whereby I talked about our transaction data.
Yeah. Yeah.
That transaction data is written to a file, and we have 2 files in each what we call a KICS region, and we keep swapping them in and out. That's all controlled using a programming language called assembler. Effectively, it's machine code.
Oh.
Next to nobody really has those skills to understand it. We brought a contractor in. He told us what that code did, told us exactly how it worked. We converted it into COBOL, which is stuff that everybody can understand. Suddenly you've got a risky part of the business, which not many people understand, and if it went wrong, we would be in trouble. Suddenly you've got 140 mainframe developers who now understand what it is. It's not quite live yet, but those are the sorts of things we're doing to de-risk the business and bring ourselves forward. So we have quite a lot of modernisation projects as well.
Right, yeah, because I've heard that term actually quite a lot around tech. There's been a lot of emphasis, hasn't there, within Next Technology as a whole and modernisation. I know it's happened there's a lot happened in e-commerce, contact centre, stores, item numbers, loads of different projects there.
And guess who they're all talking to?
Yeah, Mainframe.
As well.
They're all talking to Mainframe.
To get that source data.
So So you mentioned there as well, right at the start, that Mainframe's been around like 70 years, and is it just specific to retail? Is it used everywhere else as well?
It's used in big business.
Big business.
Big business. It's a business machine.
Right.
So it can deal with lots and lots of concurrent events happening all at the same time. It processes them very, very quickly. We actually get charged by our service provider based upon what's called MIPS, millions of instructions per second.
Right.
And it can literally millions of these are individual instructions to the computer when the code's broken down. But just to give you an idea, when we're in VIP sale, we can get 100,000 messages coming in per minute from the sale. All the time we're processing data that's coming in from the call centre. We run in big batches. It's all happening concurrently. And hopefully, as far as everybody's concerned, it's seamless.
So without knowing it, people are interacting with Mainframe all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And not just at Next either,
Not just at Next, big banks.
Big banks.
I think I read a few years back, 98 out of the top 100 banks use Mainframes.
So that's when you're tapping.
In your phone, showing your watch, whatever you happen to do these days, going to an ATM, all those kinds of things.
On the Mainframe.
You don't know you're doing it.
But
generally, you'll be talking to a mainframe.
Just because it can deal with all that high speed processing of all
high
that
velocity,
velocity of data.
Of data. They're also incredibly reliant.
Yeah.
And reliable.
Well, and that's what when you're dealing with payments and so many payments, that's what you need, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So it's been around a while. Everyone uses it. So how have we kept up with the demand of? Obviously, because I'm guessing since it was first formed, it's obviously grown a lot then as well. So how do we keep up with the demand and make sure that we're using it to the best of our ability?
Good question. Very good question. So the mainframe's been around for, let's say, 70 years. It's been evolving all that time. I think probably one of the biggest changes is the fact that the mainframe can now talk to other platforms more seamlessly.
Right.
So recently, it's probably been around for quite a long time, we can now talk to e-commerce platforms using their native language. We use APIs. We can use APIs to talk to them. So they can supply the data to us in formats that they understand without having to convert it to stuff that we understand. And we've got processors that will convert it into data that we can then process and then throw it back to e-commerce, and they can then consume that data. So the connectivity and ease of connectivity between different platforms, that's the thing that's probably really changed the most since I've been here.
Yeah.
And especially in the last 5 years, it seems to have come on leaps and bounds.
So it's like evolving and getting smarter then and more compatible.
I think it's adapting.
Yeah.
Mainframes are always traditionally seen as a very static sort of machine and platform. It would talk to itself and talk to other mainframes very happily. It found it a little bit more difficult to speak and open itself up to other areas. Now that is so much better.
And what about, so we've got all these people, how do people, like, how would you get into understanding mainframe in the first thing? Like, where did that start with you, actually?
Where did that start with me? Back in the mid-'80s when mullets were first in fashion.
I think they're back in.
They are, yeah, and they still don't look good. Imagine, I could never grow one.
I'm with you on that.
Sure, so I think when I was growing up, and I left college, having just done A-levels, I liked IT. I mean, computers were only just becoming prevalent. You know, people could start buying little home Spectrum ZX81s, and I had a VIC-20 one Christmas. And I got a bit of a passion for wanting to do it.
Nice.
And wanted to do that kind of thing. And I wanted, you know, I think I'm pretty good numerically and logically and that kind of thing. And I wanted to do something along those lines. And a job came up at the local county council near where I lived. And it was a perfect opportunity to be able to go and be trained to learn how to work in mainframe. They basically took me on as a trainee programmer, showed me how to code, sent me out to Trent Polytechnic on a HNC course for a couple of years on day release to get me some accreditation and learn some of the things that I did. They gave me the courses over time, and eventually you evolve into being the developer.
Wow. And you've done that for how long now?
37 years.
Wow. So you know a bit about mainframe.
I'd like to think so. I've probably forgotten too much as well.
Yeah. Because I guess as well, you've got to keep up with the development of it as well.
Yeah. The core has stayed static for a very, very long time, but there's new pieces coming along all the time. You've got to try and keep yourself on top of those new things.
And is there anything that, as a business, like you did, is there anything as a business that Next do now in terms of encouraging people to learn mainframe? Or
Yes, so we've just started what we call the Mainframe Academy.
Nice.
We've realised that at schools, colleges, universities, they don't teach mainframe, they don't teach the languages anymore.
Oh, okay.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Nobody teaches COBOL.
Right.
In schools. Nobody knows about it. They all learn things like Python, like my son is doing right now. So nobody's teaching it. And let's be kind, in the words I'm going to use now, that the mainframe community, let's call it mature.
Yeah.
It's aging.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hoping in 10 years' time myself, I'll be able to hang my keyboard up and wander off into the sunset. And we do have quite a few people who are also in a similar sorts of position.
Yeah.
So where's the talent going to come from?
Yeah.
So we decided, not me, but I've been involved with it, we, as a business, to launch the Mainframe Academy, we will grow our own talent.
Wow.
And teach them mainframe and have almost like a conveyor belt of new developers, hopefully younger developers, coming through who will be able to learn everything mainframe, grow as trainees, developers, and hopefully come the time that the likes of me do hang the keyboards up, you've got a steady supply because mainframe isn't going away.
No.
It's
well, based on what you've said
Yeah.
and how integral it is not only to Next, but everything, sounds like there's nothing, and there's not something just waiting there to replace it, I'm guessing. No.
It would take a heck of a lot
Yeah.
to replace the mainframe.
Yeah.
When you think our system, that when I joined Directory Systems, that was actually based off the old catalogue system.
Yeah.
Don't know if you know it, where
Yeah.
you used to have an agent, you used to go around with a book,
Yeah.
give it to a customer, they'd take a look at it at their leisure, write down what they'd want, they'd give the slip back to the agent, who would then place the order. The order would go to the agent, who'd give it to the customer. That's what our system's built on. It's so bespoke, and that came from Grattan's 4 decades ago. And we've built on and built on and built onto it. It's so bespoke, to actually replace that would take a massive amount of effort. I mean, probably back in the 90s when I'd been working on mainframes for 5-6 years, people were telling me, what are you doing working on mainframe? That's going to die in a few years' time. Nobody will be using it. 30 years later, the mainframe's evolved. It's still being used. And I would imagine in 10, 15, 20 years' time, it will still be being used. And the direction that we're going in and the amount of investment we've made and the recent contracts we've signed, Mainframe will be an integral part of this business.
Yeah. And so it's great we've identified that, right, let's, as we always do at Next, there might be a problem in the future. Let's get ahead of it. How do we do that? Let's make the Mainframe Academy, which I really like the sounds of. What's gone into making that academy then? What's made up of that? How is it? Are we just, sticking people in a classroom, or what we do? Like,
what we're doing?
Yeah, what we're doing
with the academy?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've just recently finished our first academy.
Yeah.
We only advertised that internally.
Yeah.
We stuck posted up around the call centre, around the offices here, up in stores, up at the warehouses. So we had 12, let's call them guinea pigs.
Bless them.
Bless them. And you stick their hands up. Yes, we did make mistakes with that first lot. So the way that we do it is that, and this is evolving as we're about to start off our second one, the way that we do it is that we've got an outside company comes in. They teach them the basics of a particular language or skill. Usually it's about a week or so. They then come back to us. We've got a classroom just above Phase 5 reception.
Oh, nice.
Room for 12.
Nice.
We then take some subject matter experts from across our Mainframe community, and we actually teach them activities and to use the skills that they've just learnt. One of the worst things you can do with sort of like technical training is you get sent on a course and then you come back and you don't use it for 6 months, and then you go, well, what was that course? Immediately you get to use it, and you get to use it in a next mainframe environment. So
a proper is going to impact the business straight away. Well,
it won't. It won't impact.
It won't impact the business, but
because what we've done on the mainframe, we've partitioned a section off, so they can go away. They can cut all their code, run all their jobs, try things out, and if it fails and goes horribly wrong, it won't impact what the rest of the developers are doing, or God forbid, live.
Yeah.
So they can practice to their heart's content. So we have a series of courses that they can do. We continually assess them. We give them mini test projects for them so they can continually learn and grow. On top of that, we also do things called Business Insight Days. So we send them out and have days out. So we took them up to the warehouse so they could see the old robots going around, scuttling around. We took them over to the photo shop just outside this room, how pictures are taken, how that content then moves onto the website. So we're giving them a grounding in what the business is.
Oh, right, okay.
Across so many different areas.
Yeah.
We also we use our learning and development teams to give them soft skills, how to present, how to work as teams, all those kinds of things. So we're trying to give them a good rounded view of the core basics of what you need to be a developer on the mainframe, but as a developer in general. And then after the initial 12 months had finished, we've then moved them into various development teams, and they've started off as trainee programmers, and they're using those skills now day to day, and they're learning it in a more practical fashion.
So it is like a proper academy then?
It's a proper... was internal.
Yeah. Oh, it was.
It was internal because, like I say, we did make mistakes.
Yes.
We've learnt from those mistakes. We got the courses better towards the back end of the first lot. And now, hopefully, we've only just recruited our second cohort, which is going to start in January. January the 8th, we get 8 new people. And this time, we actually advertised it on the careers website.
Nice.
So it was open to external applicants. We got nearly 150 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
150 people applied for it. So we sifted through the CVs.
Yeah.
We gave them logical reasoning tests, because if you can do these logical reasoning tests, you can think in set ways, you're good with numeracy, you can check things, and these tests check all those sorts of things. You've probably got the right aptitude to become a mainframe program. You don't have to know about IT.
No.
As long as you've got that right mindset and that logical...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're almost saying, don't worry about the technical too much.
No.
We'll teach you that.
We'll teach you that.
Just have the attitude and the mindset of, I can do this.
I can do this. Doesn't work for everybody, like any course. But as long as you've got the right mindset and we think you've got the right capabilities, then hopefully you'll be able to make a mainframe developer going forward. So we took those logical tests, we then did a little video interview where they sent in videos of a few set questions, and then we actually, in this room itself, we did a group exercise with our final 16 just to find how do they interact with one another.
Because, how are they going to
they're a
interact with the
team player.
business?
Yeah.
And the team, and
Yeah, and then give them a little competency-based style interview.
Yeah.
Not technical, because they don't know anything.
Yeah.
We're going to be teaching them that. And we managed to select our final 8, and they all accepted.
Wow.
So they start in January. That's going to be our second group.
Wow.
And we were hoping to keep this programme rolling and rolling and rolling.
Keep rolling. And
Yeah.
well, I guess it makes sense, like you said, if there's 140 odd, was it?
We did.
Yeah, currently in.
Yep.
And you're getting them coming in I guess it's a yearly basis, is it, at
Yeah.
the moment? Because they've got to go through the whole cohort. I mean,
Yeah.
as Next does, if something starts working really well, it's like, right, can we increase this? Can we ramp it
It's
up?
funny you say
that. Yeah.
We're looking to make efficiencies and improve.
Yeah. Can we make it more efficient? Can we improve it? Can we get more out of it? And then over time, it will just naturally grow. But it sounds like you've already done a lot of the learnings as well, which is great because you always do. Like we always do here. Anything we do, we're always going, you know what, that didn't work quite like we wanted there, but we'll learn from it, go again. So I think that's really, really good. So what is the future of the academy then? Where is it going other than this? The next cohort's obviously the focus at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the idea is going to be that we've tried to trim this down to about 9 months.
Okay. Oh, sure.
Get them in quicker.
Yeah.
To the development teams, and then it should be a rolling program. Hopefully, we'll keep taking the learnings, figure out what works well, what doesn't work well. Hopefully, all the time we're building a good back catalogue of everything that we do, so we can keep repeating, repeat, and hopefully we'll have a good throughput of developers.
And do you see value in it as well?
Oh, yeah.
On the personal level, are you actually, this is really good? Yeah.
I do personally, because
Yeah.
I'm quite heavily involved. I'm part of the working party that's helped set it up. I've even done a few of the courses for them and done assessments. I love that sort of thing as well. Just seeing new people come through with different ideas, different approaches. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I bet it is, especially for someone that's, like worked in Mainframe for all those years and got that experience, to get someone coming in and like almost challenging you a bit, or not challenging, maybe just asking, well, why do we do it this way? Or could we go down that route? Or
that's one of the biggest downfalls of people not doing that.
Really? Oh, what, when you're looking for...
We found out from the first group that the ones who performed better, they were the ones who asked the most questions because they were inquisitive, they wanted to try and find things out. Those people who just like blend a little bit into the background and a little bit worried about making themselves look foolish, I'm going to ask a really basic, stupid question here. You don't know it. Don't worry.
No.
Ask. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Each team that we've got is probably stuffed full of developers who've been working on mainframes longer than I have sometimes. Most teams will have people who've been at least 10 years worth of experience. Use that experience. Work alongside these people. Learn your skills.
Yeah.
And bounce off them. Nobody in the right mind would ever read a computer manual because they're so dry, they're so boring and so difficult and so technical. Ask the person who's stood next to you or sat next to you.
Yeah.
They will probably provide a much better answer that you can understand and not drop asleep while reading it.
And is you mentioned there, the working party that's gone into building this. I guess there's quite a lot of people and a lot of time that's gone into...
There has been a lot of time.
Yeah.
The working party itself is mainly like 5 or 6 of us.
Yeah.
But we've pulled in quite a lot of people from our developer community to help with this, deliver some of the courses, help do some of the assessments, help them out and answer questions so they can get a better understanding of what it is they need to do to move forward. And
that developer community is within Next as
all
well.
Within Next.
All within Next.
All within Next.
So that's getting people to come along and talk to them, and them to ask, and like you say, them giving them the opportunity to then go, right, I want to learn more about this, and yeah. And of those ones that we had from the first cohort, are they now in teams?
Yes,
developing?
They're in teams, developing.
Wow.
We've had those people actually put code live. Recently we had an incident and one of the cohort that were put into our support team under obviously strict supervision put a change in that blocked a particular situation where we ended up sending out too many texts.
Right.
Immediately, they're beginning to add value,
Which is
great, and they'll evolve over time. And even better, some of them are already asking, "Well, can I help the next cohort that's coming through?"
Oh, wicked! That's
Here's
great.
my experience.
That's great.
Can I help you with your experience as you go through? This is what you can expect from
Wow.
the people who are on the receiving end of the sorts of things we were telling.
Yeah.
Not just us preaching.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Rather than, like you say, you're almost within the academy. You're almost going to be building another community of people that are going to work together and learn from each other, and then, hopefully in like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 years time, you've got a ginormous community of people that have all come through that way.
Yeah.
And then people like yourself can start thinking about hanging up your keyboard.
Definitely.
Well, it's been really good chatting with you, Ian. I've learned loads there, like, because I had a basic understanding of Mainframe, and I thought it did this, but it actually does this, and this. And the academy sounds awesome as well. So, thank you very much for coming on and talking to me about it.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Thank you, Matt.